Hi guys, been a long time. Maybe, I don't know, 6 months or a year or something since I've posted anything. Might even be more, I'm not sure. I sort of fell away from the whole thing because nothing I was doing could produce consistent results, and I wasn't really learning anything. So for me, there was no point. But in the last few months, I have learned a fair bit. And yeah, I just wanted to share. So basically, what's been going on for me anyways, I left my job, took a year off work. I'm currently traveling around Europe. I'm actually in Tel Aviv in Israel at the moment, dancing lambada. But I've been in Europe for about nearly 4 months now, traveling around, looking at possibly settling in London for a little bit to just see what life was like outside of Australia. Because when you live in Australia, it's very difficult to travel. You have to take a month off work, spend heaps of money to get any significant travel outside of Asia anyway. But yeah, so for me, I kept experimenting with ketosis, but it just never works for me. Even if I go high, very high fat, 80, 90% fat, minimal protein, practically zero carb, very low carb, I still can't get it to work. It's okay for a couple of days, but then my body just starts to, I just don't feel well. I never feel well on it, no matter how, and I've stayed on it for a long time. I did consistent carnivore and keto for months, and the symptoms just never went away. Just irritability, issues with mood and sleep, and energy levels and stuff like that. Electrolytes, I experimented with everything, as you know, could never make it work. So I needed to find some kind of balance. So for me, I heard about people eating 100 grams of net carbs a day. So I started doing that. But the way I do it is that I'll eat. So what eventually I figured out is that it's the meat that causes the histamine intolerance symptoms mainly, especially when you fry meat, because when you fry meat, it does something. When you heat it above a certain temperature, I think it 10x's the amount of histamines in there. So if you boil meat, basically, if anyone's struggling eating meat with histamine intolerance, try boiling the meat, and it basically just fixes it. There's no symptoms from the meat. But boiled meat is really annoying to prepare, and it doesn't taste as good. But especially when I'm traveling around, it really, it's just so annoying. So basically what I've discovered is it manages the symptoms more than it fixes them. I'm not experiencing any healing or anything. Really, I've just found a way to sort of manage the symptoms. So if I eat exactly like this, I basically get a really good sleep, and my skin is fine, and the histamine intolerance symptoms are fairly minimal. So anytime before, say, 1 or 2 p.m. in the day, so I usually just fast until I'm hungry, I'll eat about 1/2 kilogram of meat or more, usually ground beef because it's cheap, and I'll throw a bunch of butter on there. And if I want, I'll put low-carb vegetables. So very minimal carbs, essentially a keto meal for the first meal of the day. And I'll eat as much as I possibly can to fill up. And then at the end of the day, before I go to bed or, whatever, I'll eat 100 grams of net carbs and fruit. So generally that's, say, 4 peaches or 2 apples, 2 peaches, or some grapes or whatever. But I calculate it to be 100 grams of carbs net in the form of fruit. This staves off ketosis. This keeps my mood fine, sleeping well, and for whatever reason, I don't get tons of skin symptoms as well when I eat only that much of carbs. Usually with the first meal after I eat it, I will take a probiotic. I've got some pretty expensive ones. They do seem to work if I take them at the right time. So I'll take them after I eat that big meal. The fruit meal, I don't bother, so I'll just eat the fruit. If I'm really hungry, I'll eat a low carb salad. Well, it's more of like a low carb fruit salad at the end of the day. So tomatoes, cucumber, olive oil, pickles. Pickles sometimes cause a reaction, but a few of them's okay. It's just any low carb fruits, sort of a salad with a lot of fat. If I eat like that, it's fine. It manages the symptoms. I sleep well. The main thing, sleeping well, is just eat the fruit at the end of the day. No meat, no fats, nothing. Just a bit of fruit, and I sleep so well because that high histamine meal is at the start of the day. And that, for me, it's not healing because the symptoms still come, but it manages it, and I've just never found a way to heal it, ever. No matter what I've done, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars. I've tried everything, as you know. You look back on the channel and see all the crazy shit I tried. 14-day water fasts, 5-day dry fasting, crazy diets. I've tried every diet on the planet. This is the closest thing that I've found to a sustainable balance that keeps the symptoms minimal, and I'm able to continue to keep functioning normally. So hopefully that helps some of you out there. Let me know how you go. Ask any questions in the comments. Thanks, guys.